What is going on, everybody? Zach RC here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome along to the first ever episode of our brand new F1 23 driver career series. So of course F1 23 has been out for a week now. We tried doing a My Team series, but honestly I just couldn't get into it, so we've made the change. We're going to do a driver career series instead, so hope you guys look forward to that. If you're new around here, make sure to get subscribed to the channel for all the upcoming episodes. It's going to be a really fun series. I'm looking forward to playing through it with you guys. So we'll get started here and just setting the whole thing up. So the first few minutes will just be setting things up in terms of our driver and team. So you guys want to skip through to qualifying or the race itself, then there'll be chapters down in the bottom of your screen. And in terms of resources and that, we're going to turn everything up to increase just to make it a bit more fun. Everyone gets a bit more of a boost. So we'll perhaps see some more driver transfers, things like that later on in the series. And of course we'll set things up the same way we did last time around: broadcast, safety car, but immersive pit stop and immersive formation lap as well. So those will be the new changes.
Let's create your driver.
So of course the majority of you have seen this point by now the sort of driver and stuff I go with, like the avatar and helmet, that is always blue and yellow, that sort of design. And in terms of team select, this is the crucial decision. Now this is a bit of a toss up here because I wasn't quite sure who to go with, because of course a number of creators have already done several different teams, but I could have done Alpine because I've driven for them before. I could have done that, and I've driven for McLaren recently as well, back on F1 2021. So I'm going to choose AlphaTauri here for this career mode. And in terms of our teammate, got the choice of Snowda or rookie Nick De Vries. We're going to go for an all-rookie lineup in the AlphaTauri team, so we'll go with De Vries as our teammate. So with that then, that's everything all set up, so looking forward to getting this one underway. So without further ado, let's go straight into the car launch, and from there, we'll go into qualifying for the first Grand Prix of our Formula 1 career.
To the top of Formula 1.
Hello and welcome back finally to the hustle and bustle of Formula 1. The F1 2023 World Championship is about to get underway. We cannot wait to get started. Last season saw the biggest raft of regulation changes in years, and we're excited to see more of that wheel-to-wheel racing. The big question is though, can anyone challenge the dominance of Max Verstappen and Red Bull? Well, all the teams have been working so hard to get ahead in the development race, looking not only at their own car, but those of their competitors. Thousands of engineers working hard back at the factory. We come to the racetrack and we focus on the 20 drivers at the pinnacle of motorsport. But it's important to remember this is very much a team game. And watching that technical battle unfold throughout the year will be fascinating as everyone looks to get to grips with these new regulations. Meanwhile, the F1 World Tour features all the classic highlights. Monaco, Silverstone, Singapore. Great to see all those iconic tracks back, but also a few surprises. Qatar is back after a year away, and the inaugural Las Vegas Grand Prix. The glitz and glamour of Vegas, flat out down the world-famous strip. I know all the drivers have been so excited about this one ever since it was announced. Okay, that is enough from me. Let's get cracking with the action.
Here we go then, no time to waste in the first qualifying session of our Formula 1 career. Looking forward to getting this one underway, seeing what the AlphaTauri can do on the Bahrain International Circuit. So here we are then, getting lined up ready for the first qualifying session. Of course, the objective here is to try and make it out of Q2 if we can. We'll be comparing ourselves to our teammate first, that's Nick De Vries, and potentially the other rookie drivers as well, so Piastri, Sargent. So there's 4 rookies on the grid this season, us included. So those three rather will be our main targets on who to beat. So coming off the last corner now, getting ready for our first qualifying lap. It should be a very good one here. We'll just have to see where we stack up compared to everyone else to go across the line. Get the lap started here. We're just trying to chase down Q2 as best we can here. So pushing on through the first qualifying lap. It was a decent lap. We've come through to complete it now through the last corner. Back towards the line, green, first 2 seconds are all green. Bit wide down the exit, managed to recover it nice and easy, and charging towards the line now, looking to see where we stack up compared to everyone else. DRS wide open, 1 minute 33.094, puts us P6, so just in front of Logan Sargent. We're down to P7 as Alonso sets the fastest lap of the session. And we're going to accelerate time here towards the end of the session so we can set a second lap. And in terms of where we're sitting right now, we sit P18 in front of both De Vries and Sargent quite a way back at this point. But we're only, crucially, we're only 2/10 off of Q2 right now. So realistically, we could still have a shot at this. So we're going to have another go. We're going to go fresh soft tyres, and we're going to have another run and try and make it into that second qualifying session. So as we push on towards the end of our second lap, going towards that third and final sector, we're 6.5 tenths up. We've got a car in front of us, that's Lewis Hamilton, who's showing no intention of moving over whatsoever, sticking on this line. I suppose we wouldn't quite make it to in time, but he's unintentionally jeopardised us there. That's quite unfortunate. We've lost about half of that deficit we had to our previous time. So now there's a chance we might even exceed this time. So right now we're still looking at a couple of hundredths we're going to improve by. As Hamilton's still over us, come towards the line here. There's no improvement in position. We stay P18, and that might just be the end of our qualifying session. So Hamilton getting our way there at the start of Sector 3 has cost us massively. So it's P20 here as both De Vries and Sargent went on and improved. It's disappointing, but to be expected. We're the lowest of the 4 rookies. Let's try and make that up in the race. So without further ado, let's jump into the Grand Prix for our full debut in Formula 1.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal, and it's make or break here at round 1 of this year's Formula 1 World Championship. There's no shortage of passing opportunities around the 3.36 miles of the Bahrain International Circuit, with the best, of course, at turn 1, and then another soon after into turn 4. 15 corners here, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, and we could see 1 or 2 flat spots into that tight left-hander of turn 10. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Verstappen, Hamilton, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Stroll, Norris, Gasly, Bottas, Albon, Hulkenberg, Joe, Oscar Piastri, De Vries, Sargent, Cohen, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as once again we get another year of Formula 1 underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice, and they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
So this is it then, time to show everyone what we're made of in the first race of our Formula 1 career, starting from P19 thanks to Kevin Magnussen's penalty there going into the Grand Prix itself. It's going to be a 2-stop race. I'm using an increased tyre wear mod on this one, so this is essentially more like a test run, so we could be in trouble depending on where our pit strategy is. We'll pit on lap 7 for a fresh set of mediums and pit on lap 18 for another fresh set of mediums to take us to the finish line. But whether that could change later on, we'll have to wait and see. It's underway for the formation lap now. You see Sargent, De Vries and Piastri, the other 3 rookies, all sitting right there in front of us. Now our aim today, our main aim is to beat De Vries, but our secondary aim is to try and beat all 3 of those drivers in front of us to get the best debut of all 4 of our 2023 rookie lineup. So coming towards the line now, looking forward to getting this one underway. Going to line up on the grid. The aim is we try to bring it in from the right and try to cover off Magnussen on the start in case he gets a good one better than us. So coming in towards our grid spot here, we can see we're veering to the right very nicely there, and we're getting optimal turn in for the start. So here we go then, no more talking, time for action. 5 red lights for the first race of our F1 23 driver career. It's lights out, foot to the floor, go, go, go. Magnussen gets a poor start, we're going to jump in front of him. De Vries gets a poor getaway too. Charging towards turn number 1 we go. We've taken both De Vries and Magnussen. Sargent and Joe right there on our left-hand side going to turn 1. Going 3 wide, maybe even 4 wide with Piastri and Bottas there to go to the first corner. On the inside, after way over the curb, side by side with Piastri. They almost make contact with us there. We're lucky to get away with it, and we almost spun and hit Sargent under the poor start. We've managed to get around him though, and now chasing down Bottas on our left-hand side to go towards turn number 4. Piastri not too far in front of him, break too early there. Bottas takes advantage, and there goes Sargent around the outside, trying to he's trying to take advantage of us too, but we managed to get around him and stay in P16. So that's 3 places gained so far, not too bad at start, but it could be more. We can try and close in the Alfa Romeo of Bottas in front, going towards the corner, going to dive to his inside into the right-hander, and on the exit pulling in front of him, so up into P15 now, so that's 4 more places gained on this opening lap, and now chasing down the McLaren pair of Piastri and Norris. A bit too risky to go for a move into turn number 10 there, so we'll hold station for the time being, and off the corner, try and make a run. Piastri gets too good an exit and gets away from us for the time being. It's a good opening lap so far in this Grand Prix. Let's try and close in on our fellow debutant as best we can here, coming through end of the second sector. Up front, Ferrari and Red Bull lead. I'm assuming that'll be Sainz and Max Verstappen running there in the lead as it stands. But going towards start of section number 3 now to complete the first lap of this Formula 1 Grand Prix, our first race of our career, and closing on Piastri, using our battery. Didn't get a good exit as Norris did. We don't actually go for a movement and line one up to the inside if we can. Later on the brakes on the Australian and up the inside, we're up into P14. So all in all, 5 places gained on this opening lap, so definitely not a bad start at all. And now chasing down our compatriot Lando Norris for P13. We're getting close to the points already. We'll have to keep on charging here to see if we can make of it. On to lap number 2 now, going into turn 1, closing in on Norris. One more lap before DRS gets deployed. We've gone very, very wide there because we had to move out the back end to avoid hitting the back of this McLaren. So we managed to get away with that quite a quick scare early on. He's got a poor exit from turn number 3, charging towards 4. Good look to the inside of the McLaren, going towards the corner. Into the braking zone we come. He's got to give us the room. We are there. He's still on our outside though. A bit of a poor exit. We skid on the exit, just trying to hold the control of the car. And Norris takes full advantage. We're going to back out of it here. Safest thing to do this early on. So up into down into P14 once again. So we'll have to try and wait to get back around him again. On to number 4 now. DRS is deployed. Norris seems to be too concerned with battling with Hulkenberg and one of the cars in front of maybe Gasly in the Alpine, if my memory is correct. And around the outside of Hulkenberg, got a very poor exit off turn 4, and now making our move, trying to take away P13. So we're very close on the outside of the chicane. We're going to dive through and make our move up into P13. Let's start chasing down Norris, trying to go to the inside, but not enough room to go for an attack. So Norris up in front of, I believe that is Gasly right now. So on to P13 here and just chasing closer and closer towards those points. The points paying places have currently gotten away a bit more right now. So on to lap number 6 now. Our tyres are really struggling here. You see the bottom right of the red tyre warning on our MFD. So make our way into the pit lane here. It looks like Piastri's going to follow us in, but he just stays behind us, get a good tow down the main straight. But it looks like Hulkenberg is following us in. He hasn't been the best of first stints either. So we're pitting a bit earlier than expected, but a lap earlier than we wanted. So coming into the pit lane for our first stop here, looking for a good turn in and a good stop from the crew. So in we come now, medium tyres being deployed for our first of 2 stops. 2.3 second stop and we are away. So good stop to start things off, not full turn in and a better estimated stop time. So very pleased with the AlphaTauri crew for that. Hulkenberg coming in and Magnussen came in as well, so they've double stacked the Haas cars. So a poor start for those guys. They've won the back of the pack here. They've got some work to do to get back into this race. Points are looking unlikely for where they're sitting. We've still got a chance here in P18 and Sainz pit as well. So he's down to P17 now. Verstappen now allowed to lead easy on his own. Nick De Vries in the pits this time, and Guan Yu Zhou is in with him as well on lap number 7. Number of cars coming in. I believe that is Piastri who might be in as well, because Norris started on the medium tyres. It is Piastri. It's gone on to a fresh set of mediums, and Gasly's also there as well. We're going to try and beat these cars out. It's going to be very, very tight here as we begin lap number 8 of this Grand Prix. Gasly still not out of the pit lane yet. We're charging through. We're gonna jump Gasly in the pit lane here, very, very close into turn 1, and Gasly has stuck in behind in the Alpine there. I dare say we threaten us in a couple of corners time here. So regardless, up into a good position as of right now. So very, very pleased how this first pit stop has gone. Hopefully the second one will be better in that respect as well. It's back up to P13, and we've still got cars who are yet to pit, so I dare say we'll get a place or two. But we're pushing on a few more corners. Gasly threatening us already. That Alpine a lot faster than our AlphaTauri. He's a look to the outside, going towards the left-hander, turn number 11. He's got the run now, so he's about a car length in front. Let's dive back to his inside, later on the stoppers, and just get a better drive off and push back over to P13. It's going to be quite an interesting fight with Gasly over the next couple of laps. Let's do our best to keep him behind us as much as we can here. Will he come back at us though? That's the question. Got a bit too wide off the curb there through the corner, and Gasly gets a much better run. Might try and take advantage of our poor exit and going towards the last corner. He's going to look to the inside. He's got a brilliant run going into that last turn. We're going to have DRS in the section this time, so it means we'll be faster down the main straight. So that was probably a poor move from Gasly. Like, not really playing the DRS game here, so we're going to take full advantage of that. Use our DRS, go wide open. We'll select our battery as well, and down the main straight we come. Moving back in front of Gasly. Sargent's in, Albon's in. That's with 2 more place up into P11 now. So we've jumped several cars in the pit lane here, and back in front of Gasly. So we've got a bit too deep there through that first corner, and Gasly takes full advantage, goes dancing around our outside. Through turn 2 we go, still side by side. We get a better drive off in turn 3 and move back up into P11. It's very close between us. Gasly's got his DRS though going towards the corner. We're going to force him towards the right hand side of the track and move back over. Gasly on our inside, guys. Look for the better exit here off the corner, and there we go with our a better exit, better traction off the corner, and up into P11 once again. So hopefully we'll be able to keep it there for as long as we can. Come to the end of lap number 9 now. Both Ocon and Norris in the pit lane. We could generally catch both of them here. It's going to be very close. Down the main straight we come. On to lap number 10. But it seems like Ocon's leaving the pit lane, but Norris is not. We're up into the points-paying places, people. This is amazing. On our F1 debut, up into P10 and could be P9. Ocon's right there in front of us. And in P8, the man who jeopardised our second qualifying effort, Lewis Hamilton, right there as well. So could we be trying to catch those guys? Have to wait and see here. Gasly about a second back. Oh, Albon just behind him. And I assume Norris is back there as well. So on to lap number 10 now. Gasly go for his next attack on us down this main straight, charging towards turn number 1. Once again, he's got a brilliant run. He's going to look to the outside, looking upstairs, going towards that first corner, and that goes both Albon and Norris, making moves on us here to the inside, going to turn number 1. We've gone way too deep in order to try and pass Gasly, and we've gone wide as a result, so we lose places here to both Norris and Albon, as well as losing the place to Gasly, so we've got work to do now to try and get us back. Unfortunate mistake has cost us several places on the racetrack right now. Closing back in on those two. Albon defends the inside, goes to the inside of Norris here, going into the corner, having a little bit of contact. We managed to get away with it though, no contact, and we're up into P13 once again. It might have been P12, sorry, P12. We're up into P12 now, so chasing down Albon for P11 and Gasly for P10, and then I see one of the Aston Martins not too far in front as well. So on to that number 12 now, in the same sort of place. Norris still pressuring us, got a bit too wide there into turn number 8, and Norris takes full advantage of that, tries to go around our outside as he heads towards turns 9 and 10. He's going to pull alongside, going into the corner. Let's try and force him off onto the curbs here, but it turns out that sort of thing doesn't work as it did last year. So putting drivers on the curb, going into turn 10 will not spin them out anymore. So there's our pit window there, lap 18. We've still got 6 more laps to go on these mediums. I wonder if they'll make it that far. Look how much trouble we're about halfway through the way on them. Lando Norris going to make a move here. So look to the inside, going into the corner. It's going to be very, very tight here. Looking to try and get a better exit so we can pull back in front. There's contact. We've hit the side of his car and broken part of our front wing, and that could be crucial for us. We've got a warning for a collision with Norris. Lucky to not get a penalty there. But the car seems fine to drive, but just to be on the safe side, we're going to get on the radio and say box this lap, try and repair that damage if we can. But here's have a look at the replay, what happened here. So Norris gets a good run on us, moves to the inside, going into the corner. I think what happened on the exit is that he just tried to follow his line and we just skidded and hit his car, and you can see the little bit of chunk of front wing that just goes flying off the back of it. We stay in front of Norris for the time being, so we had to choose whether to pit or not pit, because honestly the car is driving okay at this point. We can drive this thing, it's not too bad, it's just an end plate loss. So coming back off the last corner onto that 14, we're going to decide to stay out here to the end of our second stint and just try and make it to that position on those tyres. Behind us we hit Bottas, now threatening both McLaren boys. Norris and Piastri both getting past, going to turn 1. Norris is behind, and now Bottas challenging Piastri. And we've got Jeff is speaking to us here about potential strategy change. Not quite sure what's happened here, no idea, but I had to change the strategy here just to see what is happening in terms of why we need a strategy change. And we got a puncture. There's a puncture on the back left tyre of our car, and that's the first time I've seen that in a debut race. Well, that's the increased tyre wear is now taking its toll on our AlphaTauri, and we are struggling down this back straight going towards turn 11. Now we definitely have to pit this lap. Piastri not quite fitting us just yet. Yellow flag behind us. Looks like that's Guan Yu Zhou, because Bottas is still safe running in this little train of ours. But a massive puncture that could damage our chances massively here. So yeah, you can see the difference between the front tyre and the back tyre, which one's working and which one's not. Piastri takes full advantage for a little mistake, then goes dancing up the inside. He's going to take away the place, and Bottas will try and take one off us as well, and Norris might try and take advantage too. There goes Bottas to the inside, going towards that final corner, pulls alongside and pulls ahead, going into the braking zone. I have to give him the space there. No point trying to fight him with a punctured car. And Norris at the last corner will try and take us as well. He's going to get the toe like Piastri did earlier, and now pull us off into the pit lane. He's going to stay out, and we're into the pits for our second and hopefully our final stop of the race. But that was quite unexpected, but only a lap earlier than we expected it in terms of strategy. So we're not doing too bad. As you see the punctured tyre rumbling there and make our way down into the pit lane for our final stop. And I've forgotten to turn off the repair wing damage, so we have to change the wing as well, and that could horribly damage our chances of points in this race. They're already damaged to a decent extent when we let Gasly and Albon get past, but a better finish could have just been jeopardised here by that wing change, and we're running just fine without the extra end plate, regardless as to the best we can. Onto a set of hard tyres this goes to the end. We don't have another set of mediums left at our disposal. Have to look at what happened in the replay with Guan Yu Zhou here, because Zhou is now out of the race, unfortunately. Yellow flag down there on the backstretch going into turn 11. You see us struggling there with our puncture. You see Zhou's in the background just behind Logan Sargent. He just sort of slows up and has to pull the car over. And when we come back in to look at the T-cam on the POV, you can see a lot more smoke being kicked up. I think largely thanks to the fog, you can't see it as much. So Guan Yu Zhou, the first casualty of this series. On to lap number 17 here, and to start lap number 18. We've got a number of cars pitting in front of us where their strategies could mean they're second stints in. And De Vries is in the pits. We're going to come out in front of Bottas as well. We can't come out in front of Piastri though, who ends up a couple seconds in front of us. Let's try and close them as best we can. End lap number 9, start lap number 19 now. Norris also into the pit lane. He's going to come out just in front too. So those guys have jumped us in the pit lane here. We've got some work to do to try and get back in front of them if we can here. Those two have taken huge advantage of that with that puncture on lap number 16. So Norris there just in front of us, but I dare say he might get away from us thanks to the fact that he's now on the same tyres as us. Last time he was on mediums, we were on softs on that first stint. Onto that 20 now. Bottas is still threatening us. We're a bit too deep into turn 1. They could try and take advantage of that around the outside, but falls back into line. But I dare say he might get a better chance going into turn number 4. DRS deployed for the fin as he goes towards that right-hander. He's closing in, but he's enough to make a move. I think he's going to stay behind us for the time being, so we're safe in P16. But right now, Piastri's going to be the highest finishing rookie in the order, with De Vries even further back than that. So on to that 21 now, the start of lap 22. Magnussen into pit lane. That'll be another place gained for us here. So charging towards turn 1 into P14 now. Bottas to our inside, looking to try and change that into that first corner. He gets it in front of us. Now to go around the outside into turn 1 a lot later on the brakes. He's got the inside lane for turn 1. We're going to have it for turn 2 though. Get through back in front of him, but I dare say he could have come in front of us with the DRS once more. We got the DRS this time. So charging through holding top place there. And on to the end lap 22 and the start lap 23. Logan Sargent's closing on us now. So Bottas, we may have a second challenger in our race for this position. So going down the main straight, Bottas has his DRS wide open as he charges towards turn 1. We're going to force him over to the right-hand wall on the racetrack. He gets in front of us, going into that first corner. Let's try and outbrake him as best we can, or just try and have a chance. We're going to look upstairs, trying to find a move. We can't make it happen just yet. Still not his inside. Have to wait on the DRS going towards turn number 4. It's going to be very, very tight between us. We're closing as much as we can before making our move down to the inside, going into turn 4. And right at the inside, going a bit too deep there. Bottas going to try and switch back on our inside. We're still alongside him. You know, a better drive off and hold on to the position. This is one of the first few times where going too deep has actually worked for us here. So again, defending on our place, and Sargent still there behind us. Now until lap 28, he's become the main threat. He's up into P15 now. But our tyres are seriously struggling, especially our back tyres. Sakir, notorious for eating up the rear tyres. We've got to watch out for that. We could be in trouble here. I don't want another puncture now of all times. These hard tyres have done their job. We still need to do one more lap here as we make our way through to start the last lap of the Grand Prix. And Piastri coming into the pit lane here. All of a sudden, a late change for the McLaren driver, Oscar Piastri. And all of a sudden, we have a chance to become the top scoring rookie in this Grand Prix. We can make it out in front of Piastri. Sargent, though, our main threat from behind. Bottas into the pit lane. It's just me and Sargent on the final lap. He goes all the way to the right-hand side of the track. We try to cover him off, but he's just too sneaky and gets past us. Going into turn number 1, and we're up into another place. But Sargent takes one away from us, so we're back where we started, more or less. Let's try and stick with him, but I dare say that this race might be over for us here. Sargent has got better lasting tyres. He pitted later than we did, so he's taking advantage of that. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen coming through the last corner here. After Sainz pitting on a different strategy, he's romped the checkered flag. He's taken on no challengers. Verstappen wins the first race for his second time to the fence in 2023. Good start to the season for the Red Bull driver. And now coming off the last couple of corners for us here. One more corner to go here in Bahrain. It's going to be P14 here, unless something goes wrong. Maxson's closing on us, and Piastri will finish at 16th in the end on those soft tyres. Sargent's beaten us, and he'll be the highest scoring debutant today in terms of finish. Going to run to the line though. Fortunate that the tyres have held on. I'm going to take away P14 from a very exciting debut race in Formula 1. All in all, very, very exciting stuff. I enjoyed that all round. Hope you guys did too. And I'll happily take a P14 given where we started. So really, really pleased with that. I'll move on to Saudi Arabia next time out. Logan Sargent gets driver of the day. Could that have been us? We never know at this stage.
Smiling faces on the pit wall then after that superb win here at Sakir. And rightly so, a brilliant effort from the whole team. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs. And that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here.
So here's your podium then, picking off right where they left off from Abu Dhabi 2022. Verstappen wins, Leclerc in second, and Perez in third. So a good start to the season for those guys. In terms of us, we beat our teammate De Vries, which was sort of no contest after the strategy changes all around. Of course, the tyre wear mod perhaps a bit too strong in some respects. So have to be careful of that next time out in Saudi Arabia and the races to come. As the celebrations begin for our podium finishers, good race for them. Hopefully the Drivers' Championship will be entertaining to watch up at the front. Hopefully, eventually we can join that as soon as we can. Perhaps not this season, but in the future.
Max Verstappen now leads the Drivers' Championship. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
Often my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an especially impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
Let's move on to the constructors, and Red Bull take over as championship leaders. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One, so be sure to join us for the next one.
Let's have a look there at your final results from this Bahrain Grand Prix. Max Verstappen wins the race, Charles Leclerc home in second, Perez third, Russell finishes in fourth, Peter Hamilton fifth. It's the Aston Martin pair of Alonso and Stroll in sixth and eighth. Sainz comes home seventh in the end from the pole. Poor race for him. Ocon takes away ninth, and Albon gets the last points off of Norris and Gasly. Of course, Gasly making 3 stops, the ending might cost him later on. Several drivers made 3 stops here. We managed to make the 2-stop work. So it's P14 for us, P18 for De Vries, P13 for Sargent, and P16 for Piastri. So look at the Drivers' Championship here. The exact same as our finishing results. Verstappen takes full 26 points for the win. No points for us today, and no points for AlphaTauri either. So crucially, in terms of those drivers, no points. 6 different teams scored points. Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, Aston Martin, Alpine and Williams, McLaren, AlphaTauri, Haas and Alfa Romeo, all yet to score in this Constructors' Championship from the first race. Right, so that's it, guys. So that is the end of our first episode of F1 23 driver career. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, share and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you liked about it and what I could have improved on. And until my next video, guys, have a good day and I'll see you later. Goodbye, everyone.